Hey guys, this is Crap Hunter, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Woo! And welcome to the second episode of my little mini-series, Random Replays. In this, I basically look at the replays you guys very kindly donate into my email, and I basically react to them for the first time, trying not to look at or either using as little or no information at all prior to watching the replay. So generally you get a first reaction to stuff. So if you pull an amazing move, I won't know about it till you pull it. So you'll get my reaction from it as well. So it's going to be quite a nice sort of I kind of thought it'd be kind of a nice reactionary thing. You also get to hear me laugh if you do something really awesome. So without further ado, let's get on to today's replays. Today's replays were very kindly donated by Ulf, and in the emails he was championing the cause of the artillery in his S51. Now, I know a lot of you have probably started booing, hissing, and probably vomiting at the sight of this thing, but do not worry. There may be a point which I can make once again that artillery isn't as hard, or sorry, isn't as easy to play, isn't as hard, you know, it's not so, you know, easy to say, it's shit, you don't know what you're doing, you scumbag clicker. You might actually find it slightly harder to drive than you know. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So here we are for the first replay, and this is Ulf, and he is driving his lovely little S51 with the Top Gun, the B4, and he is on El Haluf. It's a tier 10 game. He has kind of failed platooning with the Pershing, but ironically enough, because this has 204, no, 204, that would be nice though. No, 203 millimeters worth of gun. You actually can technically utilize this in tier 10 games, as you can do a lot of damage. Just the downside is you have a 47-second reload, and you have very, very poor accuracy. Now, again, this game is in counter, so as naturally, all of the tanks, or most of the tanks, have pushed down towards the A-B line. So, leaving a very large-ish gap over here, but that's being somewhat covered by the M103 as well as other stuff. So the E50 on our team is moving down. Ulf is moving into position. Very kind team work there. That's actually quite nice. Ulfie moving into a bit of artillery cover. It's a little... My experience of these things is not so great, but... Can I change that? No, I can't. Right, so we're going to have to see the top-down view. So... Oh, no, he is using it. Legend. Right, so... He's using the... this is the Locustan mod working right here, actually. This is normally... You don't get this normally in the normal World of Tanks, which is a bit of a shame, because I actually feel this makes it way easier for you to utilize it. So anyway, again, so far looking good. He's having to readjust as well, so he's going to have to take an extra few seconds to get onto it. So just trying to find a target. He's actually got himself into a pretty decent position, because if he can get a lucky shot, he can actually hit the engine deck of that T-57 and IS-7, which is nice. Speaking of which, ooh, hello E100. He fires. The E100 is reversing. Does he? Oh! That's very nice. Nice hit. He, I believe, tracked the E100. So, yeah, that shell kind of almost guided it in, which is a bit of lucky RNG there. But even then, as you could see, it's only done about 400 damage, and that's just because it hit the armor, and it's spaced armor. HE doesn't like spaced armor. So anyway, he's focusing on the target. He's actually, this is a really good spot. I'll note this for next time. So the 47-second reload, very much evident here. As you can see, the game is progressing. People are dying. Ulf's changing his views. Not sure why. This must be a bit of a replay glitch, I think. Don't know why it's just stuck in this view. Ah, this is why he's sort of... Hang on. I have to... Bit of a replay glitch here, guys, I'm afraid. So now he's looking around, trying to keep himself steady. Personally, I would have said for him to stay there because, you know, they're going to be spotted again. And he's now having to waste extra precious seconds trying to get an aiming solution onto these guys. T-57 Heavy standing still. So far, it's pretty even for the kills. Right, artillery just fired there. The T-57 is making a move. He's not sure. He fires. T-57 starts to move. He's in the perfect spot. BAM! One T-57 down. Good shooting. That's taken an age to aim for. Wait for the rage. Wait for the rage. It's a tier 10 tank. You see, that's... Yeah, well, fair enough. It's a nice shot. And the T-57 agrees. What a good shot, though. Good shot on it. That's RNG being nice to you, and you've taken your time. Fortunately, his friend in Comrade Arms has just perished. So, let's just say that. That's the first shot that's gone directly on target. That's a rarity in this game. Good team working skills there, letting the team know when he's reloading. Oh, no.
That was close.
Shell just missed. Full aiming circle. He had no, problem with that. Fired. Shell still goes off. But, that said, he has removed a threat. So, Ulf's now changing, I believe, his targets. Yep. He's now engaging an IS-8, which is becoming a bit of a threat to the WZ-120. He's also moving into position, because unfortunately the IS-7 is moving up, and unfortunately he's being surrounded. Kind of am wondering why the team over here isn't helping out. I'm going to assume this is where... Yeah, he's like over there, so the T-34 is, for some reason, doing something stupid. Oh, back of an E-70. Well done, IS-3. Did they seriously both just shoot the freaking... Yes, they did as well. That's fantastic. Shot the wreck of the T-32 that was there. Unfortunately, the E-100 finally claims the IS-7, thus reducing the ability for them to see. E-75 and IS-3, I think, are still kind of frightened of fighting the enemy tanks, so not looking too good for his team. E-75 backing up, hopefully going to get a shot into it. So far, not looking too good. E-100's making a push. Waffenträger E-100 is standing way out in the open. This is not how you use it because, BAM! There is another kill. So, that was a pretty easy shot. He was completely in the open. He's a lightly armored vehicle, and more importantly, he was an autoloader. So his priority was like, BAM! And the shell, I'm not going to lie, was pretty well on the spot. But that was because he took his time. So now the E-100 and the E-75 are moving up, and the enemy team is now starting to attack the base. So the E-50 as well knocking out the enemy artillery, which is nice. Wolf is taking his time, being very careful not to move the stuff too much. Aiming down on it. IS-3 making himself a very easy target out in the open. BAM! There's 778 damage. This is pretty awesome so far. He's done a pretty damn good job. And notice though, guys, when you're driving in heavies, how easy is it for that IS-3 to get shot there? He was completely in the open. He still is in the open. He doesn't know where he's going. Scumbag trying to... And he's dead. GG, artillery. GG. So the IS-3 trying to run away. And E-100 trying to sort of say, haha, I have got the last laugh somehow. So the E-75, very good prediction there. If he can just reload. He could move. This is good prediction. And he fires. If he stays there, he could get the kill. Bam! That's a pretty decent amount of damage, which means the E-75 is a one-shot, thus assisting his team. This is a very good game to prove that working well as an artillery player. Not just because it's easy. This doesn't confirm how easy it is, because he actually has to have a team that works well with it. And GG, M103. GG. I've not really seen too much of what's going on, but with the M103, but I'm imagining it's not very pleasant, because that thing has like, what, 180, 90 pen? Oh, he could claim it. Does he claim it? Nope, he doesn't claim it. Ulfi does not claim the kill, but that was a pretty damn good game. Very, very good example of artillery there. Well, working well as artillery, as well also to show how easy it is sometimes for you to get killed by an artillery when you're not thinking about it. So now, let's take a look at the results of the game. So here are the results of that game. A very awesome victory by Ulf in his S51. He received a Gauze medal, which is basically exceeding the 10 times the amount of hit points in damage for your vehicle. He also got himself a Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, and adding extra insult to injury, he also got himself a Mastery for his, or one gun mastery for his tank as well. So that's pretty damn awesome. Because he had a non-premium account, he only got 38,000 credits, 1,290. Now, the sad thing about uploading on the World of Tanks forums is you don't really know how much he really got, because obviously this is without having to, change for other stuff. Like, your supply, resupplying your consumables and everything. But this replay is a great example of how good teamwork, good working in unison with your team, as well as also showing how easy it is for you to pay attention to the fact that, yeah, the IS-3 was completely in the open, the Waffenträger completely in the open. The T-57, I would say, is pretty good for. He was quite in the open, but not as easy a shot. It could have still missed. But that is a good example of great teamwork. Awesome replay. Looking forward to seeing the next one. Speaking of which, let's get into that now. So, here we are for the second replay. And Ulf is in his S51 once again. He is on a Tier 8 engagement, or map, on Assault map as well. Jeez, I haven't seen one of these in a while. So, he's on Erlenberg, and he's actually got some pretty average matchmaking. It's actually kind of good matchmaking, as he's encountering Tier 6s as well. So hopefully this is going to... I've not been artillery too much on this map. It's not as easy, well, I would say easy. It's not as open as El Haluf, or large, I should say, as El Haluf. But there are some pretty nice spots to engage heavier tanks. I do have to admit, I do prefer being a normal tank on this map than artillery, as I've played it more with other tanks and stuff, but anyhow, that's not the day's video. Today we're all about artillery. Right, we need a first person going over to a likely artillery spot, preparing to cover the 1-2 line. His team's pretty spread out quite well, to be honest with you, though for some reason some of his... I suppose they're pushing up on the tough. Now Ulfie moving into position to support his team. Trying to move into point, and there is an enemy A44. He tries to go into the other view, but unfortunately a fair amount of his shot is being blocked by the hill, so instead he has to rely on shooting other people. So now he's utilising the Lokistan mod view, which, interesting point of fact, this is going to be one of the standard views you get on Armoured Warfare for artillery. So, shucks, that actually works. His first shot goes in, not really much aimed, and directly hits! Holy shit! And the Leopard tank drowned himself. Well done. So, that was a bit lucky. That aiming circle's slightly fast. Is he utilising the 128? I can't tell anymore. Wait until he goes into a normalish view. No, the reload would indicate he's using the one... the reload would say he's using the 203mm gun. So, targeting the T-32. It's been spotted. Oh, already hit by artillery. I personally wouldn't say it's worth it. But then again, he is a target. The situation on the map isn't improving though. We've got a couple of Tier 8 tanks. And enemy KV-4, I believe. Yeah, KV-4. Well, the KV-4's over there, so this must be the KV-3. Enemy Ferdinand moving up now, taking his time on the edge of Ulfie's aiming circle, but he backs up. It's a Polish player. Yeah, I'd so laugh if he actually hits the Polish flag. And the shot, and BAM! He sets the Polish player alight, but he has a fire extinguisher, so he saves himself. But that was pretty much 90% of his hit points gone. Completely gone. So good shot there. Good shot indeed. So anyhow, KV-3 is now taking up firing position. And the KV-3 knocks out the Churchill. He also lets the team know that he's attacking the KV-3. Good job there. So far, the game's not going so great. The 1-2 line is kind of... not really doing a great job. Cromwell is under fire. He tells the team to track him. Good call. Ooh, a good hit by artillery. Can Ulfi take advantage and get the kill? And bam! Yes, he does. Only getting 266 out of that, but that's worth it. T-32 gets the kill on the Cromwell. And now the IS-3 is pushing up as well. So the game is not looking too good for the team that he's got. And Ulfi, Mappy, watch out. Yes, he was aware. This is another good thing, map awareness. This is not looking very good at all for Ulf. And Ulf's cover has just been blown up. Oh my god, have they not spotted him? Oh my god, they haven't spotted him. Oh, you lucky bugger. But Ulfi has lost sighting of them as well. This is not very good at all. So, yeah, naturally he's going to be calling for help. So now he has to hide. I don't blame him. Oh, he's getting really nerve-wracking now. The Su-14-1 has taken out the IS-3, which is good. And Ulfi, regardless of being surrounded by his opponents, now focuses on trying to help the team out. The T-29 making a move on the Su-14-1. This is where the Su-14-1 hasn't got much of map awareness because, look, he's pinged it on the map, guys. Look over here. But the Su-14 doesn't quite notice it until it's a bit too late. T-29 trying to go in for the kill. Probably will at some point. Artillery's going to make a run for it. He ram kills him. Actually doesn't ram kill him. He ends up getting the kill stolen. Congratulations. Hummel, not really paying attention either. He fires, and the shell goes short. So now it's 47 seconds for reload. The Hummel gets taken out by the T-29. It is not looking good at all. But the T-29 is on low health. And he gets killed by the Indian Panther. So that's one less to worry about. But there is still a KV-4 and a T-34. The ELC AMX on our team is actually pushing up. He's on the southern flank there. So now Ulf needs to be very careful. Because as much as he's in a good position here to cover the base, he still needs to, you know, be careful. Otherwise enemy tanks might try and track where he's shooting his shell. And there is still artillery in the game, as well as a Hellcat, both of which unspotted. And they certainly haven't camped. Oh, they're certainly not. They're not AFK because they've both got a kill, and the ELC has already gone into their base. And the enemy team have started to capture. Bit of a mistake. Also surprised that the Ferdinand hadn't spotted. But there's the T-34. And Ulfi hasn't seen him yet. KV-4 knocks out the Tiger 1. Good choice on prioritizing. The KV-4 has more armor than the T-34 and is harder to shoot the weak points. So this is a doozy of a shot if he makes it. Oh, this is a beautiful shot. Okay, so he's prioritizing the T-34. Fair enough. Bit of a bigger target, and he's also tracked. So laugh if he gets a bombardier. I don't think he will. Oh, you got to make your shot soon, mate. You really got to make your shot soon, otherwise they're going to get both kills and they're going to be unspotted. Fires. Bam! 640 damage. Personally, I would have shot at the KV-4 first. He's got more armor, but you have got the rear of him. The T-25AT suicide charges both the tier 8. So now he's on 2 shots standard left. And so now all that's left is an ELC, an Indian Panzer, and him and Ulfi as well. ELC desperately trying to find it. Hopefully, if we're lucky, Ulf will fire at the same spot and be able to save this game, but it's not looking very good. T-34's almost got a Top Gun as well. Oh, telegraphing your location there, heavy tank. Ulfi's trying to reload. KV-4 is spotted. Take your time, take your time, take your time. He's reversing. He's realized he's been spotted. The shell hits and knocks the KV-4 out in one go. Good shot. Churchill telling Ulf to move. I agree with the Churchill to a part, but seeming as the enemy team doesn't seem to be paying attention to tracer shells, Ulf's in a pretty decent spot right now, so it's not quite. Oh, apparently the Churchill doesn't understand what artillery does. Clear example. But anyhow, so the game is now kind of saved-ish. Well, it's 1 minute 42. Oh, the Hummel's trying to go for it, but the ELC takes care of the Hummel. Ulfi's nearly reloaded. Indian Panzer could do with moving up. I don't know how many hit points the Indian Panzer has. But Churchill still not understanding that, you know, there is no more threat from the enemy tanks. So ELC could... They've got about a minute to save this game. T-34 sighted. Bam! He's got a kill. Well done to Ulf there. And now all that's left to kill is the enemy Hellcat. So that was a pretty dire situation. That turned to pretty good. I think Ulf isn't paying attention to what he's reloading because he's now preparing to fire Armor Piercing, which has no splash and can penetrate. It has a very good penetration, but it's obviously artillery. It's not very accurate. So there's limited chances of you hitting anything from that. For some reason he's telling the ELC to hide. Personally, I would just say go hunt down the Hellcat, but each to their own. So now, for the last 30 seconds of the game, I imagine the Hellcat is going to be hiding himself rather than getting himself killed. Because there's no way he can cap now. The Hellcat would have to miraculously kill both the ELC and the Indian, and then somehow make it across. And the next, yeah, he's going to hide. He knows the game's over. The team is going to fail. Now, for any of you guys who don't play Assault, the enemy team who is attacking loses if the time runs out, which is most likely what's going to happen. Yeah, that's it. Game over. So, a great save done by artillery, which is nice. And the game is over. So let's have a look at the results of that game. So here are the results of that game. Once again, Ulf gets himself a Gauze and a Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, so good job on that. He also receives the award of the Fighter, the Bruiser, and he got High Caliber. This, well, is actually not as easy to get as you may think. Bearing in mind you have to hit, do a shit ton of damage, as well as be the most, also to score the most experience in that battle. So that's pretty damn awesome. This was an undoubled as well for experience, and without premium once again. So Ulfi receives 41,000 credits and also receives 1,209. Now, one thing you guys may not know is that the experience for artillery is still half. So to receive this much amount of experience is actually means that Ulf did a damn good job saving the game there, which is pretty much a nice artillery carry there. So naturally, Ulf got the most experience, a base experience of 1,209, receiving and doing 4,526 damage. He even got himself a nice little 243 for spotting, which is pretty nice, which is pretty decent. He also got himself defense points for the base. But that said, good job on the Indian Panzer and the ELC as well for working together to knocking out the remnants of the opposing team. So well done to Ulfi on that one. So anyway, guys, I'll take you now back to the garage. So guys, there you have it. Two pretty awesome replays with the S51. Thank you very much, Ulfi, for sending those in. Now, before you tankers out there shout in the comments, "Oh, but it sucks, and that's just easy because he's a scumbag, and you probably get those all the time," I guarantee you that those two games are rare for him. In fact, I can guarantee it for myself, because I've only had one damn good game in my artillery, and that was ages ago. You know, those games like that are rare, and I can guarantee that he'll probably agree with me that that was a very lucky / rare instance as well. So, and also note that the experience that Ulfi received wasn't that much in the last game. Like, think about it. He just saved the game. You know, he turned the tide around. He kills a KV-4. That's a tier above him. If he was in any other vehicle, he would have received double the experience of what he had there. He would have got 2k easy. But because he was in artillery, he only got 1.2 or 1.4k experience. So, just a lesson to note. And finally, the last lesson to note for these guys is look at the games that they've watched now and have a look at how it works. And maybe that way you'll be able to utilize these replays not just so you can watch how artillery can be played well, but also learn how you yourself can counter the artillery. For example, not hiding in the open, making sure that if you are spotted, you get to cover, you're aware of your map, you have a good map awareness so you know to move once you've taken the shot, and a variety of other things as well. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you like this kind of content, do let me know in the comments section down below. If you wish to submit one of your own replays, I have put a link in the description where my email is present, where you can send your replays in, and I can have a look-see, and we can basically check to see what you've done. And also, hopefully, if it's good enough, we'll be able to see you in the next episode. So thank you very much once again for watching. Thank you once again, Ulfie, for sending me, there we go, those 2 replays. And I will catch you guys next time. This is Crap Hunter, signing out.